Hey, Mr. B here. Welcome back if you saw my first video, and welcome if this is your first time on my page. I appreciate you showing up. Thank you very much. Today we're going to talk about what everything in music is based on. Chords, scales, what chords are in a particular key. How do you make chords? What is it based on? What's the science behind it? It's all based on this little thing right here. I'm going to show you. It's called the Ionian mode. Some people call it the C major scale. Well, it's both. I find that even though I'm a guitar player, this is kind of easier to visualize initially on the keyboard because of the separation of the sharps and flats with the black keys versus the white keys. So let's take a look at a keyboard, shall we? So the Ionian mode, the C major scale, is made by starting on the C note and playing all of the whole notes up to the next C note, the octave C note. Okay? Now, on the piano, the white keys are all of the whole notes, the black keys are the sharps and flats. Notice that we've got a group of 3 here and a group of 2 here. The C note is right here at the beginning of this 2 group. Okay? So when we play all of these notes up to there, we get a pattern of intervals called either steps or tones. I learned this with the term steps, and so that's what I'm used to saying. If you hear someone say whole tones or half tones, it's the same thing. Okay, so when you skip a note, let's go back for a second. Let's talk about an octave. What is an octave? It gets its name from 8 notes. There are 8 whole notes in an octave. But the sharps and flats are also notes. So in reality, there are 12 notes in an octave. So if we skip a note or a key, skip that, go up there, that's a whole step. Now that translates to 2 frets on the guitar. So the bottom C note on the guitar is the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Okay, if you go up 2 frets, you come to the D note, right? Okay, so this pattern of whole steps, 1 whole step, 2 whole steps, then a half step. Notice there's no sharp or flat in between the E and the F. So even though it's a whole note, it's only a half step. So a half step. Then we've got 3 whole steps and another half step up to the octave C. So that pattern is what we're looking for. 2 whole steps, a half step, 3 whole steps, and a half step. That's the Ionian mode. And that's what pretty much everything in music is based on. Okay? Now, making chords, it's like math. Okay? All of these notes are numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And actually, the numbering continues. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay? So you've got that 2 octave range where the notes are all numbered. Okay? Now, this pattern of whole steps and half steps, if I were to play that in a different key, say for example the key of F, okay, starting on F, got a whole step, then my half step is here to the G sharp. Then I've got a whole step, which is 1, 2, up to the C, 2 more whole steps, whole step, and a half step to my F again, okay? So depending on where I start, if I'm not starting on the C note, I'm going to end up with some sharps and flats in that pattern. But it's the pattern we're looking for, not the specific notes, okay? So when you make a chord, the formula for a major chord is 1, 3, and 5. So in the case of C, it's the C, the E, and the G. Okay? So then everything is based on that. To make a minor chord, you flat the 3rd. You go down 1 note, so 1 fret, whatever that. So in the case of the C chord, it's the E note. Take that down to an E flat. Okay? Those are the only two chords that I can think of that have 3 notes. Everything else has got 4 or more. At least that I've been able to think of. I've thought about this for a bit and I couldn't come up with anything else. That was only 3 notes. Everything else is a variation of you add a note, you flat this note or whatever. Okay, so let's go take a look at a guitar, shall we? So here we've got a C chord. Right there is your root. When we're dealing with chords and those numbers we spoke about earlier, we generally don't refer to other C notes as a root because they have a number, and sometimes everything is related to the numbers. If you're playing a scale, okay, you can play up to the next octave, and then that octave is also the root. So you may see the root listed several times depending on what type of scale pattern you're looking at here. Okay, so our C chord here, there is the 3 or the 1. There's the 3, the 2nd fret on the 4th string, and the G on the 5th string, or on the 3rd string. So there's our C chord right there. Those are the 3 notes that we need. So when we do this, we're simply adding other notes in different octaves. It's still just a C chord. So whether it's a G chord, so we've got our 1, 3, 5 here, these 3 notes here, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings are G. So there are a variety of different ways. If you're playing more than the 3 notes, then you're just adding other notes in different octaves. Okay, so you can do things like, okay, there's our standard open C position, but what if I put that down? It's still just a C chord because the G note, that one right there, is part of the C chord. Okay? And you find this sometimes with A, you'll see people do something like this. Or they may even bar both of those two. It's still an A chord. Okay? So you're just adding other notes. A G chord like this. I originally learned how to play a G chord with these 3 fingers like this. 6th fret, 6th string, 3rd fret, 5th string, 2nd fret, and then 1st string, 3rd fret. So that's how I originally learned how to play a G chord. But then when you want to play a C chord, you got to flip your whole hand over to do this. Okay? And when you're first kind of figuring this stuff out, it's not as easy as it sounds. You know, you play for a while and you get to where you can do it. It's not really a big thing. But I began to learn to play my G chord like this with my pinky down here and up here like this. Because then if I want to make a C chord, it's just a real easy move of the fingers. And I can keep that G down or not. So it makes it a lot easier, and you can also get a little fill in, things like that, because this finger right here is wide open. It's not busy doing anything, so you can put it to work. Okay? So I encourage you to learn how to play your G chord like that if you don't already. And sometimes I play a G chord like this. And that's going to get into a chord we're going to talk about in another video. But so that pattern of 2 whole steps and a half step, 3 whole steps and a half step, that's the Ionian mode. It's a C major scale. It's probably the most commonly used scale in Western music. And it's what everything is based on. So some of those other things, the different chord voicings, how do you determine what chords are in the key of a song? You want to write a song in the key of E. Well, what chords do I use that are gonna be a good mix? In that, we're going to be talking about all of that stuff. and other videos. So, in the meantime, I hope you found this interesting. I hope you found it informative. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. And then YouTube and all of their magic wisdom will let you know when there's another video coming out. I hope they're doing another one soon. I had a few things come up. Took a little bit longer to make my second one than I wanted to. But, you know, life happens. It is what it is. But, yeah. Please come back, check it out, and keep on picking and grinning. All right?